I'm telling you, man, the Spinosaurid dinosaurs are just a ridiculously weird group of predators. Welcome back to Paleopedia, and by now you've probably seen several other videos talking about how Irritator challengeri, a Spinosaurid dinosaur, had jaws that were a little unhinged. And I don't mean that in a literal sense, not entirely. I'm talking about how they appear to open and create a pouch space not unlike a pelican. A new paper detailing this new discovery and a proposition was released a few days ago, in which researchers looked at the skull of Irritator challengeri, which was a smaller Spinosaurid related to Spinosaurus suchomimus. This paper was specifically looking at the skull of Irritator because it is one of the most complete Spinosaurid skulls that we have to look at. Now, I have not read this paper, and I don't really have any plan to do so, because one, I don't have nearly enough time to do it, and two, I'm not a paleontologist, so I don't have the brains to be able to understand most of what they're talking about. But here's the general gist of what the paper talks about. So these researchers looked at the jaw mechanisms of Irritator and found that the muscles were very weak, but could produce a very fast bite, which is indicative of its fishing nature. And what they found was that if the jaw opened and closed the way most other theropod dinosaurs did, then the front of the lower jaw pieces would actually overlap each other, so that wasn't physically possible. Instead, they realized that when the animal opened its mouth, the back of the jaw, lower jaw that is, would actually expand outward a ways, not dissimilarly to how pelican beaks work, forming what could potentially be a pouch, at the very minimum, a pouch-like space. And it's believed that this was an adaptation to be able to quickly grab fish and just quick swallow it whole. Now, there are some people who think that, by this definition, the ends of the lower jaw, the front of the snout, also opened up really wide, kind of like the hypoendocrine Spinosaurus in the dinosaur game The Isle does, but that's likely not the case. And as far as I can tell, this seems to be some pretty solid evidence. I suppose it does have to be peer-reviewed and maybe counteracted with other evidence, but if this is the case, that just makes the Spinosaurids just overall a weirder group of dinosaurs than they already are.